welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Ciocca Kia in Ewing, New Jersey to take a look at a super rare, who would have thought, 2023 Kia Rio S Hatchback. So let's check this thing out, see what it brings to the table for an MSRP of under 20K, and let's dig in. All right, the front end of this sporty blue 2023 Rio S Hatchback. We have the tiger nose grille in the middle. We have projector beam headlights and standard turn signals. There's no LED lighting on the Rio S unless you pay $1,800 extra for the technology package. Fake venting on the sides, I'm not going to worry about it at MSR under 20 grand. We got functionality in the grille below, but the sporty blue on this design I think looks really nice. All right, wheel and tire setup on this little Rio S. That is a silver wheel. Unfortunately, that's a plastic hubcap, and the steel wheel is behind it. So that's what we're getting when you go low price. Standard braking rotors, nothing fancy here. Steel rotors, small brakes. Tire size on these Continental All Seasons, 185 on the width, a 65 series sidewall, 15s. All four corners, front wheel drive. Full side profile on this little Rio S, and I think the sporty blue looks really good on it. And I've always liked the looks of this Rio S 5-door. They call it a 5-door, they call it a hatchback. I think the blue looks good. I think the body lines look good. I think it's a very attractive looking car for an extremely small car. How small is it? Let me go stand next to it, see what you think. All right, moving in closer, we're color matched on the side view mirrors. We're color matched on the front and rear door handle. We have a left side fuel filler cap. Up top, color matched roof with that old style antenna. When you're going under 20 grand MSRP, you're getting everything from the early 2000s as far as that stuff goes. No sunroof. Here we are at the back end of this little Rio S. There's really not much of a roof spoiler up there, so we have that rear wiper down below. Standard lighting in the back, no LED. Like I said, technology package if you want some LED lighting. The Kia badge in the middle, the Rio badge on the left. Smooth and plain flat black along the bottom of the bumper, which I think looks fine. And then we have a right side exhaust underneath. All right, under the hood of this little Rio S, what do we have for a power plant? We have a naturally aspirated 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission. 120 horsepower, 112 pound-feet of torque. MPGs, 32 in the city, 41 on the highway, 36 combined. This engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this car on regular unleaded gas. All right, so we're inside this small little 2023 Kia Rio S. I had to pan out with the camera so I could fit myself in the frame for this little car. But before we get started with the interior features, you're going to want to know, Mike, you said earlier under 20K MSRP. What is the actual figure? Well, MSRP, the way this one is optioned without the technology package, you're looking at $18,885. Let's see what you get. Let's check out the interior. Footbox action, nice and large dead pedal, brake and accelerator, all rubber finish. Can't expect anything else at this price point. Down here is the pull lever for the fuel filler. Seats, all manual seats, black cloth with some bolstering. Nice and comfortable though, with some white cross stitch. Doesn't look bad, and really you can't expect that much when you're looking at a price point of 18 grand and change. All right, door panel, as I'm cramped into this little Rio S, hard black plastic all the way around, flat black on the switchgear with some brushed aluminum door handle. Very monochromatic, very plain Jane, but this is what you get under 20K. Coming in here to the dash, we have some soft touch up top, some light brushed aluminum look here to break up all this monochromatic black, and then you get down here with a nice large glove box. As we come over to our 8-inch infotainment system, we have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Kia. All the nav is through your phone, but you do have the setup over here where you can get in and you can change your settings however you would like. Date and time, language. There's not a lot you can do in this little menu, but at the end of the day, it is under 20K. Here is our hard controls for our media right here. We do got the Wi-Fi hotspot action going on as well, but overall, it's a pretty small looking deal. Now, as we put it into reverse, let's check out this backup camera. There it is. Takes up the whole screen. Nice and clear with trajectory. Not bad. Nice job, Kia. Moving further down, here's our four-way hazards. Here is our manual controls for our heat and air. No climate control in here. Moving down further, you do have a USB-A and a 12-volt and a snack tray. We have this button here, which puts it in the sport mode. So you got normal and sport, and that's all she wrote. Here is the gear shift that's going to take you through the simulated gears on the CVT transmission. Manual handbrake, 2 cup holders, and as you can see, we have a very plain looking key fob for the Rio S. It is not your standard Kia detonator style key fob. It is just old school lock, unlock, press and hold for the tailgate, panic button, Kia on the back, and it gets stuck into the ignition barrel, just like that, and you turn it on to start the car. That's the deal. Right, I had to scrunch around to show you this armrest because it's set far back, nice and soft with the cross stitch, and a nice little spot in there for some storage. Not bad. Steering wheel action for the Rio S. Soft touch material, nice 10 and 2 notches. Kia badge. A little brushed aluminum action along the bottom of the steering wheel, which looks pretty cool. Flat black on the switchgear. On the left, telephone and voice commands. On the right is your cruise control. The stalks here, we have our headlights. On the right, front and rear wipers. Down over here, we have brighten and dim the dash, traction control off, and we do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Now we move to the dash, and we have the old style analog with a small digital display. So analog gauges, speedometer, tachometer, fuel level, and coolant temperature, and that small little display in the middle for your range to tank, average miles per gallon, that sort of thing. And that's how you put it in sport mode. See that little sport on the tachometer pop up when you put it in sport? And then you take it out of sport. That's the deal on your 2 drive modes. Normal and a little sport action. That is it. We'll leave it in sport action to see what happens on the drive today. But for this price point, I can't knock it. Overhead console, we have non-LED lighting. You leave the switch set in the middle, so when you open the door, the lights will come on. You close the door, the lights will go off. We have our sun visor with a vanity mirror that slides, so that's not too bad. And when you take this off, it does slide back to cover up the entire side window for the driver, in case you have sun coming in the side of the car. All right, backseat time on this little Rio S, and in typical Kia fashion, even in their smallest car, I have plenty of room, plenty of headroom, 5'11", plenty of shoulder width room. This seat is set for my driving position. I have a good amount of knee space, not like some of their other cars, but I still fit. The back of the car is got the same style as the front to back, so I like the design consistency. Again, hard plastic all over the place on the door panel, brushed aluminum here on the door handle, and we have flat black on the switchgear and a hard plastic armrest. So again, at this price point, you got to go with this kind of setup, and I can understand that. All right, rear console time. No heat and air vents, but we have a USB-A back here for connectivity. In a car that's $18,885, I can't really complain. That's pretty cool. There's no door pocket behind the driver, or seat pocket behind the driver, but there is a seat pocket behind the front passenger, and we do not have a center armrest in the back of this little Rio S, but I'm not going to knock that either because the price point's so low. And again, that nice cloth black with that design on the inserts, it doesn't look bad, and actually it's not a bad car for what it costs as far as interior materials and design. All right, opening up the hatchback on this little Kia Rio S, you come to the back right underneath the Kia badge. You have pop the button, manual assist on the way up, manual assist on the way down. Nice area right here for storage in this little car. Not bad. Here are our Rio embroidered carpeted floor mats, which is nice. Storage cubby over here, which is nice. We got some lighting in the back, which is nice. And then as we open this up, down below, if I can get it all, there we go. Spare tire action. There's more expensive Kias in the lineup without a spare tire. Nice job. We got our security shelf right here. And then to take the rear seats down, you just hit that button, push them over, 60-40 split, push them over, come back, and that isn't half bad for a small little Kia Rio. Not half bad at all. Nice job, Kia. Again, on the interior use of space on the interior is very, very good, even in their smallest, least expensive car. All right, here is the window sticker on this little 2023 Kia Rio S 5-door hatchback. Feel free to stop the video, see everything that is inside this particular car. Again, $18,885. And the only options on this from base are the cargo mat, the carpeted floor mats, and the cargo net. And that is it. Again, if you want that safety suite of technology and LED lighting, you're going to have to add that $1,800 technology package, which I would do if you're going to buy one of these particular cars. All right, we are heading out of the dealership in this teeny weeny little 2023 Kia Rio S 5-door hatch. And I tell you, I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time because I've never been in one of these cars, ever. And I hardly ever see them on the road because Kia just doesn't make a lot of these, because people will look at the price and say, you know what, once I put the technology package on for an extra 18, I can buy a base Forte for the same price and the car's bigger, even though it's a sedan. So I can understand that issue. And a lot of these Rio S's are coming into the dealerships for fleet sales rather than personal sales. And this one is targeted for fleet as well, but they're letting me review it, which I think is really nice of the dealership to do that. So that's the deal on these little Rio S's, at least for 2023. And I've been also told by the dealerships that Kia does not have a leasing option for these cars. You either have to pay cash or finance in order to get one of these. So there's no leases available, at least according to Ciocca Kia here in Ewing. That could be a sign that this may be the last year of production for the small little Rio S. And if it is, I'm glad we could get in one today and give it a little spin. But the thing I find incredible with this car is it's got a teeny weeny little engine. It's got 120 horsepower, which is nothing in today's world. And you know what? It gets down the road pretty darn good. And the CVT in here is pretty darn smooth. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because my expectations were so low on a car that has an MSRP of under 19 grand. But this isn't half bad if you really need something to get around town or get around the city and you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you can't afford to spend a lot of money, and you get great gas mileage. Yes, not as good as some of the other cars out there, but still, you know, averaging 36 miles to the gallon combined on a little engine like this with regular unleaded gas. It's not going to cost you much to fill this up at all. So overall, I'm quite impressed with this little car. And also, I also want to tell you, we got plenty of visibility out the front windshield, plenty of visibility out the rear glass, nice large side view mirrors, nice visibility out the side glass. Everything in here is easy to get to. It's all very basic, so you don't have to really worry. I mean, if you want to change the heat to air, you just turn the dial, or vice versa. The infotainment system, you still have a USB plug-in, so you can listen to your music, and you can run your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless in this, which is even more handy. So what's not there to like? We got it in sport mode. It doesn't feel like it's in sport mode, so there you have it. Sport and and normal are basically exactly the same. I just took it out of sport, and there's no difference at all, except for the revs, and that would be about it. That it's revving a little bit higher, it's shortening up some of the shifts. Very, very slight change, very slight. But at this price point, how can you complain about any of that? Yeah, no sunroof. Oh well, that's the way it goes when you only want to spend $18,885. Plus, you still get the same warranty that all the other Kias get. So you can buy a $55,000 souped-up Telluride or an $18,885 Rio and get 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain. So how does that not work for you, right? You know, so for me, I'm gonna, since there's nobody behind me, it's pretty quiet out here this morning, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna give it a little bit, not too much, see how she does. You ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, you know what? It got up to speed okay, made a lot of noise, but you know what? That's not bad. I'm not gonna hit it at all for that. And now we're gonna do an emergency stop when I get, and that was fine too. Linear, no pull on the wheel at all. You know, not bad. So I really can't complain about this little car at all. If I needed something to run around the city, or if tuck into small parking spaces in and out of places, sneak it around and stuff like that, hey, this car works. And like I said, this could be it for the Rio S in 2023, since there's no lease options. That's usually a sign that an automaker is getting ready to discontinue a model. So we'll see. But this isn't bad, this little car. I can't believe it. I thought I'd be hammering this thing everywhere. But as an everyday guy, looking at it as an everyday car for somebody who doesn't want to spend much money on a car or can't afford to spend much money on a car, but they still need one to get around, it's hard to beat this, especially with the hatchback, with the extra room in the back. You got your connectivity up here in the front. You got connectivity for your rear seat passengers in the back via the USB back there. The only thing you don't have are any of the safety suites, right? You don't have, to be specific, there's no blind spot monitoring. There's no cross traffic alert. There's no lane keep assist. There's none of that technology in here. The only way you get that is to add the $1,800 technology package to the Rio S 5-door hatchback. That's the only way you get it. And then of course now you're adding almost $2,000 to the price of the car, and now that brings you up to almost $21,000. So therein lies the rub. If you're looking to stay under 20, then this is the way you have to go without any of the technology. So that's pretty much the story from here in Ewing on this 2023 Kia Rio S 5-door hatchback. I want to thank Ciocca Kia in Ewing for allowing the channel access to this car this morning for review. I also want to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed the video on this little Rio S, please give it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.